Ah, I see you've found yourself in one of the more forgotten parts of this vast library. Not many wander down into this section anymore. It's filled with tomes of legends. Legends on which our society is built on. Wars and stories that intertwine to weave the fabric of today. This book? I see you're a curious one. What is written here is the history of our world. But, it's incomplete. If you have the time to stay, and the mind to listen, I can tell you it all. You wish to hear? I must warn you, to listen to these tales is to accept the burden of knowing them. You then have the responsibility to pass them on as well, as I have done, many times to folk like you who come wandering. It is not, however, for the faint of heart. You accept? Well then, let's begin.
There was a room for the company of Valda?
Ah, yes. Upstairs and first door on the left. Can I get you anything?
Tea would be fantastic if you have it. Though nothing else until the rest of my friends arrive. You'll be sure to send them my way when they arrive?
Curse me, lady. Your tea will be right up soon.
For your troubles. Thank you. Now we play the waiting game. Let's see if my party comes together after all.
The first meeting of Asena Valda's political party. She has decided to run as candidate for the newly opened position in Lefilius's main form of government, the Trinitarian Conclave. In fact, there are 3 main candidates for this position, but let's just say Asena is my favorite. The red-headed woman with bright blue eyes is a nomadic warrior. A guild charged with the protection of Lefilius. Strong, determined, and stubborn. We'll start with her party. Here in the Black Trout Inn, she waits for the members of her party as they meet for the first time. She has selected some new faces, as well as some familiar ones. There is a rap on the door.
Come in. Oh, Uncle!
Speaking of which, here comes the first. Castor Aldane. He's an old associate of Asena Valda's. A porcelain mask covering his face, and his most defining feature being the way he dressed in a gentleman's tails and coat. While Castor and Asena share no true relation, it is clear through our research that she holds a special relationship with the eccentric man.
Ah, Lady Asena, I've dearly missed your youth.
Oh, I'm glad you could make it. It's been ages.
Indeed. Oh, speaking of which...
Good gods, man, put on a shirt.
What, no shirt, no service?
My lady, this is Killian. He is a protege of mine, of whom possesses the necessary prowess to be your faithful bodyguard.
Killian, broad-shouldered, shirtless, and with a sword at his waist. An orphan taken in by Castor at a spry young age, he quickly became quite the skilled swordsman, enough to rival trained knights of the Conclave. While he surely would have preferred to be off adventuring, it seems Castor had other plans for the man.
So this is the woman you want me to protect? Well, as he said, I'm Killian. I'm not good at introductions, but you can be sure to find me a loyal bodyguard. I pledge myself to you as your sword and shield.
Well, thank you. Hopefully we will not need to use force to guard ourselves.
May I ask whom else you have invited?
I have gotten into contact with a man of great intel. Baron Waymaker, whom...
Good day, madam. I'm Farron Waymaker. Glad to finally make your acquaintance.
Oh, Togar, you scared the daylights out of me. I didn't even know you would come in.
Farron Waymaker. spymaster of a deadly guild of assassins known as the Velvet Quills. He has the look of one easily dismissed. Darker leather cloak, spectacles, and a large leather-bound notebook. Nothing noteworthy about him in appearance, but unbeknownst to Asena, she has just gained a deadly weapon and ally.
Ahem. Since we are mostly here, we should get started. I feel it's time we get the important bits right. Oh, please, order something if you want. On me. We should all be comfortable around each other since we'll be spending a lot of time together from here on out. We have a lot to prepare, and honestly, I don't know where to begin. Well, beyond my stances on what the Trinitarian Conclave has gotten wrong. But I suppose that's more your expertise, Uncle, as my advisor. I would also like to open the floor to you all. Any suggestions or questions I can answer or help plan for, I'm all ears. You are the experts, and I want you all to have as much say as you like.
Yes, the Trinitarian Conclave has but many shades of difficulties about them. My lady intends to set them straight. Of our candidature opponents, one is a smooth talker of handsome proportions, and the other a woman who prides herself under the fealty of Embra.
Oh, you speak of... Hey!
Feet on the
I'm sorry I'm late.
Alexander Forstner, a lord who is quite adept at politics. His suave and relaxed nature could get him almost anywhere, even without taking his wit and intelligence into account.
Did I miss anything important?
Not really. We were just going through introductions. This is Castor, my advisor, Killian, our guard, and Farron, our information man. Feel free to order a drink.
Alexander, was it? Your tardiness and demeanor show little respect for the woman before you.
You don't need to start...
What we were about to discuss further was our opponents in greater detail. As Lady Valda so eloquently put it, I am the information man. So might I be so bold as to speak first?
Yes,
Oh,
yes,
certainly.
yes, that's reasonable.
Now, as Castor has correctly ascertained, we have a man of the people and a religious bigot as opponents. Malachi Galathius Hithian is the smooth talker's name. He is from a wealthy family of traders, uses a high level of wind magis, prone to drinking and gambling, and enjoys the company of men and women alike. Other than he and his advisor Tabitha Wayward, the only thing you need to take note of is a woman in their party who is a guard to Malachi's betrothed.
Oh, Magis. Now that is something we have almost forgotten. Magis is what we now call magic. It's the manipulation of energy within oneself and the world around them. Some are more skilled in controlling fire, others are more akin to the sea, while others yet find their connection to be in harnessing the process of healing. Not all may have the gift, but for those that do, it is both gift and curse. But now what is this? Farron has managed to notice an eavesdropper in all this. Aideen Lars. Of shorter stature, brown hair knotted into a braid as she makes her way into the tavern downstairs. She is a sailor in the gold sails, known for her fierce temper, stubborn pride, and fighting skills. Her footsteps are noticed by Farron when they halt outside the door.
As for other general enemies, the only real threat to you, milady, would be Velvet Quills. Their approach is much subtler than you are used to. Coins of Genki? Hardly a challenge. They're a bunch of wannabe rebels who are led by children. One of their leaders, who goes by the name of Lars, foolish and hot-headed. I know her enough to know she isn't a threat.
Not a threat? Huh? Not a threat? Kiss my ass, Waymaker!
With a temper like that and no ability for unseen movement? No, you're not. But enough of that. Why do you want to join the party?
Ha! Who said I wanted to join this party?
Why else would you be listening at the door? Why else would you have so clumsily interrogated Castor's coach driver? If it were simply information you were seeking, you're not going to escape with it. I assume you can take it from here, milady?
Well, I'm glad to see that I'm not the rudest member of this little band. Lady, if you would but say the word, I will help to escort our new guest outside.
Why, wait. Toss her out.
As rude as the entrance was, it at least showed you're passionate about the group you serve. Or that you have a pride in yourself that you can back with action. Both possibilities have their advantages and disadvantages. So tell me, Miss Lars, are you going to be an advantage or a disadvantage to my team? Hopefully you came because you thought you had something to contribute. Only a complete moron would stumble into this political mess blindly. If you intend to join, I need a straight answer, as I need people I can rely on to help me get to the Trinitarian Conclave. If you can't help me, the door is right there. I'm sure you can find it just fine without Alexander and Killian showing you out.
Oh, hell no. That woman is not joining us. I am completely against this. I can't trust her, nor will I allow someone like this near you. You have 5 seconds to prove to me that your life is not worth snuffing out.
Give me a reason why I shouldn't snuff you out like the pathetic candle you are.
Why, yes, as a matter of fact, I can think of one. It involves my sword through your neck before you even make a move.
Killian, stand down. As for you, Miss Lars, continue to threaten my team, and I will personally rescind that invitation. I don't want to ruin this nice person's tavern, so let's not let it get there.
Lady Asena! My job is to protect you, and I only see this woman as a possible threat. She not only was spying, but she attacked one of the people among us. I will not sit idly by and let this slide. You cannot possibly be serious about this.
You won't kill her because I am asking you not to, Killian. I understand the risks, and I understand your lack of trust in Miss Lars. I understand that everyone is apprehensive since she struck out at Farron. She missed. I think it was on purpose to prove a point. Sure, that entrance hasn't made the best case for her involvement. But if I'm honest, I'm sure I wouldn't stand by and let someone openly belittle me. Would you allow that? I placed my trust in you, Killian, without properly knowing you. The moment you gave me your word, in fact. Because I wanted to give you that chance to prove it.
Fine. But I will be keeping my eye on this one.
Just your eyes on me? Let's hope you know how to at least keep your hands to yourself, Dark Eyes.
With us in agreement, your answer, Miss Lars?
I accept your offer to join your party. Why? Because you're frankly the only one that has any hope of success. Or better put, you're the only one I'd want as a leader out of the 3 dolls we've been given to choose from.
How unorthodox. Inviting somebody who just tried to kill one of your campaign advisors to join your movement? The man we speak of would have her escorted out. The zealot would likely have her branded, at the least, possibly even flayed. But you bring her into the inner circle. An interesting technique, my lady. I suppose this is a sign from whatever gods are watching. Your campaign will be one of peace then, where we turn enemies into friends? I will be quite interested to see if that works on the other candidates as well. If it does, then our road will be quite the easy one, don't you agree?
I'll trust your observation, Alexander. You've seen more of these situations than I have. I'm assuming you accept my decision because you don't foresee her being a political liability.
Political liability, my ass.
As for the rest of our team, I am serious about who I decide to let into this group. And I wouldn't have offered her to stay if I didn't see potential. I have found success so far in allowing people a chance to prove themselves. I may be wrong. I'm not all-knowing or infallible, but I won't risk her life or Killian's in a fight over suspicion. That's what I believe. But call me hopeful. You're all here to help me temper my areas of fault as an optimist, right?
Our lady is in quite the vulnerable position, surrounded by crows who've yet to show their feathers and dance around the leader of their flock. I dare wish we all congregate at once and offer solace to our radical guest, Lady Lars. 'Tis nothing short of experience that the rambunctious few offer more than what may appear. Or so life has shown, Lady Asena. Now, may we continue?
I agree, Uncle. Now, about our opponents. We know of the potential shortcomings and skills of some of the party that stands with them. Malachi is charismatic and has a wife with a gift of some kind. Do we know what? And an assassin. And then we have this devout woman as the other candidate. Do we have a name? She is followed by believers and is the definition of a successful cult leader. Do we know their backers? I wish to know if they have connections to the conclave that gives them an advantage. If we're going to impress upon the current members that I am the right choice, then we will need to know if we're fighting a fair fight, or if our opponents have the high ground. Also, I'm assuming that we will all be expected to meet our rivals at this frilly banquet I've heard about. I'm not sure how this all works, but I'm sure the Conclave will want to meet its potential candidates, especially since 3 potential bids for the seat have been sent in.
Lady Rosalie's gifts? Some say prophetic visions, some say a connection to another realm. She speaks in riddles, her mind never in the present. Malachi is backed among the merchant community, with the exception of one company, and many of the Elvi are also backing him. He has the aristocrats and the rich. Melanie? Her whole area and her city are strong supporters. The richer people in their community fund them as well as the church. Both are well financially backed parties.
If she has ceased, Magis, then we don't need to worry about her giving details to her husband intentionally. Her mind is probably slowly decaying, or whatever it is that happens to people who mess with the stuff. As for the Zealot, the biggest threat I can see from her is a physical one. The Flames of Embra are seen as a radical, extremist group outside of Yulplex, and one nation is not going to be enough to earn her a position. Even the few supporters outside of Yulplex aren't going to give her enough sway.
You think she would have me attacked by her followers?
I wouldn't be surprised if she came after you. She may see you as a dangerous rival, since you both use the same Magis. Not that I know anything of such matters, of course, but if I were a mage, it might be in my mind to look out for people with the same abilities as myself. Does anyone know what form Melanie's fire takes?
Not sure exactly, but she is powerful. If you'd like, I can find that out within the next day.
It would be appreciated. If we learn she can throw exploding fireballs or make small suns or something, then we'll at least know not to stand toe-to-toe with her if she starts something. If she can heat a mug of tea, no offense, Lady Asena, and nothing else, then we won't have to worry about her in a confrontation.
Of course. However, we need to establish a game plan for what we are going to do at the Trinitarian Conclave's gathering of candidates. We will have full access to both parties that night, and it's an opportunity to do some reconnaissance. I'd also like to more closely observe the parties we are against. Also, I took the liberty of intercepting everyone's invites and replying that we would be there.
I wouldn't have gotten an invite, though. I'm not officially part of the party.
No, you wouldn't have. Which means we have an invisible member who can move about at the event without having to take part.
I can go anywhere in the function, as I won't have to take part. People won't even know I'm part of your party, so they won't notice me if I simply stand and listen.
It's an excellent idea, Farron. Aideen. Just be careful. I know you two are good at what you do, else you wouldn't be here. But I don't want anyone getting harmed or killed over information at this gathering. I'm sure that they will have their people doing the same, and they may not be compassionate to that fact if you get caught.
As for the party, it will be an excellent time for us to meet our counterparts in both of the camps. If it's all the same to all of you, I'm going to spend my time close to the lady, in case the flame or the flirt tries something. Not that I don't trust Eli over there, but it's best to have the extra eyes watching. From what I'm hearing, there's plenty of us to go around compared to them, so we'll use that to our advantage and double up on things like security and snooping. Miss Aideen, you'll be a welcome surprise addition to our group. I look forward to seeing what you can turn up.
Well, you and Killian, it seems, are to be my close companions tonight. While I appreciate the backup, I can aid in my own defense. I'd rather not be helpless if it's all the same to you.
Listen, lady, my job isn't to fight by your side, it's to prevent any harm to you. If you plan on engaging in combat as well, then there is no point for you to have a bodyguard. If it's all the same to you, I'd rather not have you put yourself in a position that could cost you your life. You, madam, have more things to worry about than putting yourself in harm's way. The feeling of being helpless means I'm doing my job. These people are clearly capable, so use them. Think of us as chess pieces and I'm your pawn. What's the point of all of us if you're only using the king?
Point made, Killian. I'll stay out of harm's way and not make your job harder. No promises that I'll always be successful. You can ask Uncle Castor. I have a knack for trouble. But I'll behave as long as you don't go thinking I'm soft. Or refuse to help me keep my skills sharp with a sparring match every now and again.
Don't tempt me, Lady Asena. I'm more than willing to show you why you hired me at any time. Wouldn't want to get rusty either. And on the matter of getting into thinking you're soft, that is far from my mind. Same goes for Aideen. Seems like trouble follows her.
My suggestion is that we split our party into 3 sections. The delegates, the bodyguards, and the spies. Bear with me, but if we create a group whose main interest of the night is the interactions, I suggest Milady to be accompanied by Castor and Alexander. It will allow myself and Killian to wander as if part of Milady's bodyguards. I will glean information while Alexander does his service as a meat shield, and Aideen can wander about and feed us all information. Of course, if anyone else has a better idea, feel free to speak up.
I suppose that will work. I'll be expected to mingle and make small talk. To be honest, I'm not quite, how do you say it? The craftiest talker in the room. I feel that they may talk circles around me. It's probably for the best that I have Alexander's wit and Uncle's silver tongue at my ready disposal. I'd rather not play their games as a novice. I will rely on you all to find out what you can, and to help me weather some of this new situation.
I don't have a better suggestion, and flying solo sounds quite alright with me.
Not one of us is flying solo, Aideen. It's this kind of mentality that gets the lone wolf hunted by his own pack. And I don't think you want to take on this pack, am I correct?
I hope you can come to see us as allies, Aideen. As Killian said, you're capable, and I want to see what you can dig up with Farron. I'll be relying on what you come to find.
Look, Aideen, this is no longer about what sounds quite alright to you. If flying solo is what you prefer, why are you in the room?
Maybe I'm just here for the eye candy.
Alright, so what we have sounds like a better plan than we had when we arrived. We'll help to ensure that neither of the other groups try anything untoward, while also managing to dig up relevant pieces of information and gossip. In addition, the people who stay close to Lady Asena can help her navigate the subtleties and bits of doublespeak that politicians like to use. You're going to learn to hate most of the people you have to talk with during events like this one. They open their mouths and oil drips down their chins.
Then I'll have to stand a few feet back. Wouldn't want to set any tongues ablaze if they try to start a fire.
Hopefully tact is going to be a thing. I'd rather not be stuck dealing with the ashes.
So we gather information on our opponents and keep them from gleaning too much on us. If that's the plan, then I feel as though that sounds easier than it will be. Farron, I trust you and Aideen will locate the people specifically that we need to focus on, besides the obvious candidates.
It's better you trust that I already have, Lady Valda.
Excellent. I like a man with initiative. Alexander, can you take a look at their allies and supporters? Perhaps they have looser lips than those in their party.
More information can't hurt. Consider it done. Well, that and we should go over some of your talking points as well. But those are concerns for another evening.
Thank you. And Uncle, you have been in these noble circles before. Will my lack of noble standing impair my chances at impressing the current members of the Conclave? I'm afraid I only know a little about them. Only what the public knows.
Rich or poor, savage or not, any can make royalty. Our Lady understands there is an image to uphold, and that image alone is what you will be judged on, especially by your peers within the Trinitarian Conclave.
Ah, yes, to images as fickle as those may be. May ours not be squandered after this... drat, what's the word? No matter. I should be off. There's much work to do today. I will see you all soon, hopefully. If nothing else, I will see you at the banquet. Ah, yes, a banquet.
Cheers to that. I guess this adjourns the meeting. Thank you all for gathering here with me, including you, Aideen. I look forward to all we can accomplish together.
Yeah. Stay in touch, Valda. For now, I'm gonna check out what kind of swill this inn is brewing. Care to join, Dark Eyes?
Not interested.
Suit yourself.
I'll be taking my leave as well. Expect regular contact from me to relay any information of interest to you.
Of course, Farron. Enjoy the rest of your evening. I suppose that was as good as it was going to get. To be honest, there were fewer fights than I expected. Togar. Uncle Castor. I can't believe it. We actually have a functioning party.
A party full of colorful array of interesting individuals. I expected nothing less from you, Asena. Now, go and get some rest. You've had a long journey, and bags under the eyes are unbecoming of a lady of stature.
Oh, we will speak later, Uncle. Oh, have a good night, Killian.
Lord Castor, you actually think that woman has a shot at the Conclave? There are career politicians that spend their whole lives just trying to get close to that seat.
She must. There is no other option. Should you have doubts, I have no need of them. Neither does Our Lady. All I need from you is your best, as I have taught you.
You're right. Why care? She beat you. That means nothing, but my best is needed, Lord Castor.
And with that, the night fades and the party retires. An unlikely party forged in the fire. One woman's chance of grandeur, bonded by their own necessities and plans. Do not fret, for we shall see the Valda party again. But as all great stories go, we must switch our focus to the world beyond the Black Trout Inn. For our next candidate lies in wait, assembling her companions to attain her own dreams for the seat on the Trinitarian Conclave.